Elijah Brandt was a ghost long before anyone knew his name. A reclusive trapper who vanished into the forests of Willow Creek in 1979, suspected, but never proven, to be a killer. Decades later, people started disappearing again. No signs of struggle, no messages, just a single footprint left behind, handmade, oversized, and unmistakably familiar. What began as a search for a missing boy turned into a chilling hunt through time, secrets, and shadow. Because Elijah Brandt may be gone, but his footprint is still fresh. In the quiet town of Willow Creek, surrounded by pine-covered hills and winding dirt roads, nothing much ever happened. People left their doors unlocked, waved to neighbors, and trusted the silence of the woods. But in the fall of 2080, one footprint shattered that peace and led to one of the most disturbing cases the state had ever seen. It started with a call from a local farmer. His son hadn't returned from a morning hike. The boy, 16 years old, had taken the same trail behind their property dozens of times, but this time, he didn't come back. By sunset, the search had begun. Local police found the boy's backpack near the riverbank and zipped an orderly place. There were no signs of a struggle, no torn clothing, no blood. Just one thing stood out: a single footprint in the mud, a size too large to belong to the boy, and deeply pressed as if the person had been standing still, watching. At first, they assumed it was nothing, a hiker, a hunter. But 2 days later, a woman vanished 5 miles upstream. Her kayak was found lodged in the rocks. Her phone was still inside. Again, no struggle, no blood, just that same footprint, this time on the shore. As the weeks passed, more people went missing. A fisherman, a trail runner, a camper, all in the same area, all disappearing without a sound. And each time, the footprint returned identical, oversized, always alone. The media picked up the story. The town panicked. Tourists stopped coming. Locals stayed indoors. Rumors spread about a recluse living in the woods, about a ghost from old tribal legends, even about a rogue bear. But the truth was darker than anyone imagined. Investigators brought in a forensic analyst who noticed something strange. The footprint wasn't consistent with any modern hiking boot. It was handmade stitched leather with worn soles, like something from a century ago. It hadn't been manufactured in decades. They began searching old records, and that est when they discovered the story of Elijah Brandt, trapper who lived alone in those woods in the 1970s. He was known for crafting his own gear and avoiding all contact with society. Locals at the time suspected him in the disappearance of a girl back in 1979, but there was never any proof. He vanished shortly after, and most believed he died in the wild. But now, nearly 40 years later, his footprint was back. Search teams moved deeper into the forest, using drones and infrared cameras. After 3 weeks, they found a hidden structure built into the hillside, nearly invisible to the eye, covered with moss and brush. Inside was a small underground bunker made of logs and earth. It was filled with journals, notes, photos of hikers taken from a distance, stolen items from victims. And in one corner, a wall covered with footprints pressed into clay, labeled with dates, and marked with the word taken. They had found the hunter's lair, but not the hunter. There was no sign of Elijah Brandt. Nobody, no clues to where he might be. Just the latest footprint, freshly stamped in the mud outside the bunker, still wet, as if he had been watching them arrive. To this day, no one knows if Elijah's still alive, or if someone else has taken his place. What is certain is that the disappearances stopped after the discovery. The forest went quiet again, but hikers still report strange things, distant whistles, movement in the trees, the feeling of being followed, and once in a while, a park ranger finds it again. That single haunting footprint, proof that something or someone is still out there.